right, it's Bruno on NB, where it can't all be serious. I'm back here, back with Basil Karmali, wealth manager, portfolio manager. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Professional pool player. No. Professional
Not
pool
a professional
table stealer.
No, probably.
Yeah. No, you pull out the quarters, don't you?
That's all I do.
Must have been. We're going to talk about your background here too a little bit, and also entrepreneur. Not only that, but entrepreneur motivator.
Advocate.
Right? Advocate.
Yeah.
I mean, you've done a really, really good job. People just have to turn on the TV and, whatever, go on YouTube and stuff like that, and they see the great things you're doing. But I remember the first time we met, it wasn't that you were most proud of making a difference. Like, I know you want to earn triple digits for your clients in wealth management, but I got the real feeling that you're probably a little bit more proud of something else you're doing.
Yeah, I think the important part is how the legacy you leave for the people that you touch. And so when it comes to everything that I do, from professional and in my help with advocating for business owners and supporting them as best as I can, it's how do you make a difference? How do you actually help them? It could be something small or large, it doesn't matter. Where you can leave, or a little bit of you is left behind. That's a legacy. So you're immortal, basically. They'll remember you forever.
Talking about that, did you, I made a reference in our last thing about the New York Yankees and the Red Sox. Did you look that up?
No, not yet, but I know it's true.
How do you know it's true?
I know it's true because not only
I made it up?
Not only because of you, because other members in your team have told me the same story.
Oh my God.
So it must be true, or you're all in the same story.
We're all bullshitting. That's the way it is. But hey, who's your favorite baseball team?
So baseball, I'm not a big baseball fan,
but if you say the Jays, I like.
But I will say the Jays. The only reason because they're the only Canadian team. That being said, it's nice to see how, even in basketball, how there's a Canadian team that can take an influence on such an American sport. Considering we have that in hockey, I'm a big hockey fan comparison. So to see how many Americans take on the Canadian sport and do well, it's nice to see how the Raptors and the Jays have done well in their history.
I was in Southern California. Well, we go there often, but not during these times. And I could not believe how many people where I was at a business meeting, and these people were talking ass hockey.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is there any other type of hockey? Well, I guess there's field hockey, but they knew every single player in the St. Louis Blues, and they're, I'm the pet Canadian poodle, and they're like, hey, Bruno, who do you like? And I'm like, I haven't watched a hockey game in a long time, right?
Yeah.
But making a difference in somebody's entrepreneurial life or business life, I know that you make a difference. And if you guys want to watch our first episode, which was a really good one, but they're all great. Boy, you're just fooling who here. You're on there, you're a master. But you were talking about making more money, not just playing defense, right? How else do you make a difference in people's lives? You can't just be about just making money.
Yeah, Bruno, it's impact. You'll be surprised how many business owners are not putting money as their primary purpose of what they're doing. It's the impact that they have. They might have a cause or a dream that has, the money just follows that. When I got into my businesses, the first business that I got into, which was money management and so forth, it wasn't to make a lot of money. Like, my first thought was, how can I help people? And at 16 years of age, I had a summer job for an advisor who left the crack of his door open by this much so I could hear the conversation. He didn't mean to do that. He just left the door open and I could hear the conversation. And the impact that this advisor had to that client, well, I was like, wow. Like, he can make a difference, and he's talking about money and helping people. And I grew up in a, let's call it lower middle class household, single parent earning, one staying at home, the traditional type of household. And I wanted to make sure that when I'm going on with my future, I wanted to make a difference or an impact. And so when I look at a lot of business owners who start off, and I'm talking about ones who have created their own business, not bought another business, they want to create an impact for some sort. And that's where I think it's not just money, it's the impact that you create.
So I'm venturing to guess that people want to make a difference because nobody made a difference in their lives, right? Or somebody made a really big impact in their lives. I'm gonna wager, other than that story, which is a big one about leaving the cracked door open, let's not say top one, but one or two that come to mind that made an incredible difference in your life.
Yeah, so
both business or family.
I'll give you an interesting one, and you'll hear this from many people, and I'll say my father, but not because I thought he was a very good business person. It was not because I thought he was a very good father. It was the total opposite. It was me proving him wrong. When he made money and lost money, he would play defense. He was scared. And I can totally understand where my father came from when it came to business, because he lost. He lost a lot of money in a business venture. And that causes a person to rethink about where they are in their world and their responsibilities, and that's why he played defense. And I always said, I'll never play defense. I will try everything, and there's no such thing as failure, only learning outcomes. So let's just go and try it. So I'll give the first and largest credit to my father, not because of what he taught me, what he didn't teach me that I learned through him. And that's a huge, huge thing. So there, and then growing up all the way through, there have been many people along my journey who have helped out, who have given me advice. And I remember there was a gentleman by the name of Ian Somerville who I sat down with many, many years ago as a rookie in my industry. And he said, you better make a difference for people in their lives. Otherwise, everything you're doing is pointless, because they will see right through you. They will see right through you. So build a business plan that has impact. You're a rookie. What do you mean by impact? Like, how am I, a young kid, gonna give impact? And so I had to figure that out. It took a long time to figure out how I can actually help somebody and create an impact for them. And that's where I think those two individuals, I would say, is the first two that come to my mind, but there have been hundreds of people that have helped me along the way.
So you know what, it's interesting that you know, you're talking about your father and playing defense and all that kind of stuff, but even though he played, and I've never met your father, I mean, that's just the way it is, right?
Yeah.
But when you're around parents or business people that play defense and you now decide to play offense, it's kind of a weird thing that I'm trying to say, is that it makes you more comfortable playing offense because you already know how to play defense.
Yeah, you know what the default position is.
Yeah.
And so you can play offense, and it's also, I don't want to live like that. I don't want to experience that. So it was an aversion to what I was experiencing. And that to me was an eye-opener. So there's no such thing as failure. I have failed in many businesses, but I've learned a lot and it helps me in my other businesses, which flourish.
Well, I mean, if you fail in business, right, isn't that equal to learning with a price tag, right?
Absolutely.
As long as you're not hurting anybody else.
Yeah.
And that's where I kind of go into, maybe, you know, you can comment on this, is that entrepreneurs, startups, and they come over and they go raise money, right? You'll hear me talk about this all the time. They go raise money, and some people come and ask us, hey, you know what? Invest in my business, business. I always ask one question: how long are you going to go without getting paid? Right? And I think that's a true testament on how bad you want it.
Yep.
How much you give a shit about your product and your service and everything like that. And I really believe that teaching them that you can raise your money, you can raise money your way out of a problem, it might be not the right way to do it.
Yeah, money is a shift of balance of power. So if you are a business and you're getting people to invest in you, it's not your business anymore. It's theirs as well. It's their money. You shifted the power from you to them. And so you have to act in their best interest as well.
So when somebody comes up and asks you, hey, invest in my company, I use this quotation here, right? And unless you have like a promissory note that says 8% or you die, or 4% or you die, it really isn't an investment. It's really speculation.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. There's three ways to invest in a company. One is...
I'm talking about startups.
Yeah, startups, completely startups. So it's a brand new company, a new concept, new idea, new person. You can give capital as part of equity. So you have some stake in the game. You can, whatever they make, you'll make a profit off of. It can be a promissory note or a debt. So you're gonna get some money back in return. And that's a different breed right there. Or it is investing with knowledge or time. And if you
sweat equity.
So there could be connections. There could be, you've got a processing plant.
Right.
You can do in-kind type of investing. And so those are the three ways to invest. When you say a promissory note, why you don't see that too often in the startup world, it's because they have no cash to pay you on.
That's exactly it. It's pure speculation.
So they will give up equity, ownership of the company, to get capital. Well, if your business is good, if it's a good business plan, you don't need a lot of capital to start. So build from the ground up. The reason why people have a lot of money or look for a lot of money today, I think, are a couple reasons. One, money's cheap. Okay, so interest rates being so low, People throw it around everywhere.
You worry about that? We'll talk about that in our next episode.
Yeah, sure. The second part of that is...
Oh, that was good clickbait too. Watch our next episode. Anyways, and number 2?
The second part of it is lack of patience. Give me money now so I can build now, so I can go quickly. What's the rush? What's the rush? Why the hell do people have to ask for all this money so they can get to that point now? Build it slowly, build it properly. Yeah. That lack of patience will come through no problem.
You know, and here's another thing about making a difference for yourself, is that I really, you might think I'm just joking around, but my partner Greg and everything like that, we think we're big fans of yours, right? I'm just throwing that out, I'm being honest, right? Big fans. People out there that are thinking about starting a business, et cetera, or growing their business, you got to listen to his stuff because it makes sense, or hopefully it makes dollars. But here's something is that right off the bat, you're doing them a favor by telling them, giving away equity in exchange for money, right? May or may not be a good idea. You have to understand the repercussions of that. Yeah. I want you to touch on that. Yeah. Is you're giving away, you're basically getting married to somebody. They are in your structure. You are married.
Worse. Well, I think it's worse than marriage.
Okay.
So marriage...
I don't know. I happen to think marriage is a great thing. I don't know.
Well, marriage is a 50-50 relationship. You and your
wife.
Your wife will thank you for this because it is literally a 50-50 relationship. Yeah. You both go in a partnership and make decisions together.
Yeah.
When you have an investor, you're at their discretion. You owe them. You have to do what they say.
Right.
It becomes a shift of balance of power from equal money for stock, money for equity, to it's my money, you better do. And you'll lose yourself in that process. And so startups have to be really careful. Like the business or the shows of Shark Tank and Dragon's Den, all that, cool ideas. But they'll always ask you at the very beginning of each pitch, what's your business model now? Because they want, the only reason why they're giving you money is to get back more money.
Right.
This is not a donation.
And quicker.
And quicker.
Quicker than you think.
Speed.
And promise me, we're on camera, you can lie, but promise me we're going to do this again, because I want to have one show on one thing only, okay?
Absolutely.
Is the illusion of control. And what ends up happening, as far as I'm concerned, I'm asking more than telling, right? Is you give up equity. And I'm the brightest person on the face of the earth, and I got this great idea saving the world, but now you need the money, you think, and you go after the money. They're telling you, slow down, don't save the world, just make me my 3.6% every week.
Yep.
And there you go. Now you bought yourself a job.
Bruno, when I invest in a company, they end up working for me. I don't work for them.
And how dangerous is that if they're more creative in a certain area than you are, but you want to return?
Yeah, so if I'm focused purely on the money as an investment only, not on the cause.
Okay,
because I've invested in a cause.
Got it.
But if it's just on the business, now their creative juices can get harnessed because of my view of the money.
Exactly. Okay, we're going to finish. We're going to talk about this. Was this a good topic?
That was great.
It was a good topic.
Love it.
I just made it up. Risk and return, just made that up with Faisal Karmali. But Faisal, website, let's do this.
FaisalKarmali.ca, come join me on there.
Well, that's pretty creative. How did you get that? That was my third
unique.
domain I wanted to get.
So unique.
Oh my God. No, but seriously, there's a lot of great stuff there. Watch them on Global TV. On your, how do they join that, the mastermind group, I call it, with you and
the Exchange Live.
The Exchange Live.
Yeah, if you go to FaisalKarmali.ca, all that stuff's on there. You can always register, join our community, and be part of the Exchange Live and share your ideas and ask for help, because these business owners all want to help each other.
That's amazing. Okay, we're going to be back next time about growing your business, how to grow that business, all right? Okay, see you guys next time. Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember, if you want someone you know to be our next guest, simple. Click below in the description and we'll get in touch with them. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe and you'll never, ever miss another episode.